Grace and peace to all who do the will of our Father in heaven. I'm just going to say a few things, mostly at random. Um, what I'm probably going to use is the image in the background of a screenshot, I should say, of HR 1242, which was from Congress.gov. And it was about the 400 years of African American history in America, where they were supposed to be trying to plan or make moves um, to make some kind of restitution or at least some kind of help towards the descendants of slaves in this country, but they haven't actually gone anywhere with that. At least to my understanding, they haven't. And but the bigger thing is that they it addresses directly the history of 400 years, or the time period of 400 years, which is prophetic because in the Bible, in Genesis 15:13, the Most High says to Abram or Abraham that know of a surety that thy seed shall be strangers in a land that is not theirs, and they shall serve them, and shall afflict them 400 years. Now, some people say that was already fulfilled in Egypt during the first Exodus, but I say that the Most High said He would do it again. He did it again. Now, they could have, if they wanted to acknowledge this, they could have chosen 350 years, or they for HR 1242, or they could have said, we're going to acknowledge 398 years, but they put 400 years on the nose, almost acknowledging what I have been saying and what other people have been saying, that we know that we are the Israelites of the Bible. And I'm not saying this to, because I know the accusation is out there that, oh, you just want to feel special and stuff like that. I mean, that's not even it. And even still, after all that has happened in this country, which most people will not even educate themselves on because they don't want to feel bad, right? Because so they don't want to even bother to educate themselves on what happened in this country and how many people have suffered and were treated like, and exactly how they were treated like crap for years in this country. They don't want to get into that history, but then the minute we start saying that we are somebody and we are not just nobody, then you just want to feel special, or you're racist, or you're elitist, or you're separatist. And that kind of brings to mind this thing that the Southern Poverty Law Center put out, trying to make it look like blacks were the most extremist group in America. And when they listed like all these other groups like the KKK and the skinheads and all these other groups and separated them, and the total amount was up to like 790 something if you totaled it up, but they separated these different groups and to make it look like the group of black people were the most extreme or had the highest number of extremists. Well, no, I mean that was just, you know they still pulling mind games on us. Anyway, I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody anymore, because the Most High, I think, if I'm reading things correctly, He's been pretty much saying or indicating that um, it's pointless for me to try to prove anything to anybody, because he's just not going to allow it. And that's scriptural. He says that there will be no might in thy hand, and that was Deuteronomy 28. I can't remember exactly which verse, but this is something that he's going to do a work, and there won't be. I know he's going to use certain people, but um, he's going to do the work, and so I have to not take things personally when I come up against people who reject not just what I'm saying, but it also feels like a rejection of me. And so I shouldn't take that personally, and I shouldn't let myself get sort of feel cast down about that. But it happens, but I shouldn't let that happen. And so there are a lot of, lately, from what I have seen, attempts to, let's say by the other side, attempts to explain who the so-called Black Hebrew Israelites are, even though I don't know anybody who identifies as a quote Black Hebrew Israelite. Some people still do, but I guess, but that it's just Israelite or Hebrew Israelite. It's an ethnicity. It's not a religion. So anyway, there are a lot of attempts right now to explain it, and a lot of these explanations are actually hit pieces where they take the worst examples of people being the most ignorant and the most pretty much uh, the people who are usually held up as the example of how we shouldn't be. Those are the examples that they put forth and say, here's how these people are, and here's what they're saying. And then and people who want to comfort themselves, typically of the who we call the white race, who want to comfort themselves and kind of dismiss the information that's coming out, are gravitating towards these videos that make the Hebrew Israelites look foolish, look look bad in general, and so that they can comfort themselves because they don't want to believe what's being revealed. So they flock to these videos. And again, like I said, I can't take that personally. I just have to understand that the Most High is going to harden hearts, and also He is going to do the work of revealing things, and it's not up to us per se, really, because He is going to be the one to reveal things. I wish I knew exactly how it was going to happen and when it was going to happen, but I don't. So I have to sort of take a back seat and chill out and not get upset about the fact that truth does not prevail. When I look at the world, I see that truth does not prevail, and I get upset. I get downcast. I get almost depressed. I get angry. All these different emotions, and I shouldn't. I just have to learn to just let it go. I think that's pretty much, that's all I really have time to say. I got to get out of here and get back to work. So thank you all for listening, and may our Lord Jesus Christ, or whatever you prefer to call Him, may He bless you.